Welcome to County Portal, your simple source for local government services and public records. Let's get started.
Ever wonder why you still have to go to work on Election Day? It seems like a simple question, but the answer in America is surprisingly complex. Unlike holidays like the 4th of July or Thanksgiving, there is no national federal holiday for voting. This means for the vast majority of people, it's just another Tuesday. However, the story doesn't end at the federal level. The power to declare public holidays also rests with individual states, and a number of them have decided to make Election Day an official day off. The short answer is yes, Election Day is a public holiday, but only in certain states and often with specific conditions. Let's break down where you might get the day off. A group of states recognize the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November as a full-on state holiday. These include Delaware, Illinois, Kentucky, Louisiana, New Jersey, New York, Virginia, and West Virginia. In these places, state government offices and often public schools will be closed, making it much easier for people to get to the polls. Hawaii also has a state holiday for the general election, though they call it Discovery Day. Then you have states with more limited rules. In places like Indiana and Maryland, it's a state holiday, but it primarily applies to state government employees. In Michigan, the holiday is even more specific, applying mainly to court employees. And in Montana, it's a holiday just for schools. As you can see, it's a real patchwork system across the country, with no single, uniform rule. This naturally leads to the bigger question: why isn't it a national holiday for everyone? Proponents have been pushing for this for years. They argue that making it a federal holiday would dramatically boost voter turnout by removing a major barrier for working people who can't afford to take unpaid time off or who struggle to vote before or after a long shift. They see it as a fundamental step toward making democracy more accessible. On the other hand, opponents often point to the economic cost of shutting down businesses and federal services for a day. They also argue that with the widespread availability of early voting and mail-in ballots in many states, a dedicated day off is becoming less necessary. Despite the gridlock in Washington, there's a growing movement in the private sector. Hundreds of major companies now voluntarily give their employees paid time off to vote, with some even closing entirely for a few hours on Election Day. So, whether you have the day off depends entirely on your state's laws and maybe even your employer's policies. It's a system that truly reflects the ongoing debate about voting access in America. Thanks so much for watching. If you learned something new today, please hit the like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more straightforward answers to your biggest